side. There is Facebook competing with Google in the social media, but really nobody competing with Google on the search platform. So Google has no competition. Google has fantastic top management. All the best people want to go work for Google, and hence Google's PE ratio is a premium to Yahoo's, whereas Yahoo is a good company by itself, but it's facing a lot of short-term challenges. Yahoo has great content web pages, but Yahoo is not as profitable as Google is. Google seems to have more clarity on long-term vision because they have the Android operating system, which is on the phones. Yahoo has very little clarity when it comes to mobile and social, because of which the market discounts Yahoo's earnings and gives Yahoo only a multiple of 16 or 15, whereas Google it's 19 or 20. Now let's look at two companies closer to home in India. Airtel, the country's #1 cell phone company, and Reliance. I think Reliance is #3 or #2 based on what statistics you look at. Airtel's earnings per share is 14 rupees 70 paisa, whereas Reliance's earnings per share is 5 rupee 88 paisa. Once again, we know that by itself doesn't mean anything, right? The earnings per share could be lower here because they have more number of shares outstanding. Okay, the price of Airtel share is 386 rupees, whereas the price of Reliance's share is 80 rupees. Once again, we know just the price of a share doesn't mean anything. Now you come to the PE. That tells you the entire story, right? The PE of Airtel is 26 times its earnings, while the PE of Reliance is only 13 times its earnings. The reasons are very comparable to the reasons we saw here. Airtel being the #1 company, I mean any company that's #1 in its segment generally commands a premium called the market leader premium. That is, because you're #1, the #2, which is Vodafone or Reliance, is far away. Competition is going to take time to get to you. You have a huge brand. Airtel has got fantastic management, and for all those reasons, great corporate governance practices, and all those reasons, the market gives Airtel a huge premium over Reliance. Now, don't get me wrong, Reliance is an outstanding company as well. They're huge, hundreds of million subscribers, but they've been facing some short-term challenges with the whole, 2G scam and, arrest of its senior officials. So the market discounts the price of the company. And when these short-term challenges are clarified, you will see that this goes from 13 times to 15 times, 16 times, but it still probably will not get it 26 times because it's still not the #1 company. After the short-term 2G challenges have been sorted out, Reliance will probably have to do more work to improve the PE ratio of the company. Right? So when professional investors look at a company to invest in, the PE ratio is very critical to them, because if an investor invests at, let's say, a 26 times PE, the only way the investor is going to make a profit on his or her investment is if the investor exits the investment at a higher PE, at a higher price. And there are only two variables here, the price and the earnings. And a higher earnings is going to come only if the price goes higher. And how is the price going to go higher? Either the earnings have to go higher, or the company has to get incredibly efficient. So investors are very confident that the future earnings of the company are going to be great, so the price goes up. So the only way you can make a profit on something when you enter it at 26 times PE is if you exit at 35 times PE or 30 PE, or any of those any of those reasons. So which is why the PE ratio is an extremely critical valuation ratio, and it's a very good first step in your introduction towards valuation. In our next class, we are going to start thinking about this concept called the time value of money. That is how the value of money changes over a period of time. And we're going to look at that in detail. I will see you soon. Thank you very much.